Hello, you. Well done for putting your headphones in, mate. Callum Powell. The reason I said that, in case anyone's wondering, is because I have a sneaky sense that I know Callum's flying out to Italy this afternoon, and I know he's getting in too late to see the qualifiers.
Oh.
So I think if we can get this online before, he'll download this, because obviously he's going to listen to this rather than music on the plane, and he'll sit on the plane, and
Callum's not into music,
and he'll get a little personal intro. If you're not Callum and you are sitting on a plane or some mode of transport, hi also. Welcome.
Or if you're another Callum and you're sitting on a plane.
Yeah, very true. It could be a different Callum.
Callum isn't... it's a common name, so, you know.
Fucking common name, isn't it? It's not like the royalty that is Giles and Kelan. Motus Prodcast, welcome back. Giles and Kelan, your fucking delightful hosts who are not in any way hungover or bitter about not being in Italy. So...
Yeah. I'm actually... I'm not even feeling like I'm missing out yet, but I think it's just because...
Are you not?
Happened. No, but I think it's because it's not... Because it's such a change, I don't feel like anything's happening.
Oh, but also you've only been to one before, whereas I did...
Oh, yeah. Have you been to all... Well, not
all of them, but I haven't missed an Art of Motion in like 5-6 years.
Okay, it's a bit more of a big deal for you. I went like once, so it felt like one of those one-off
It was
trips.
like Jason's Instagram story last night was like, this is like the who's who of parkour, and like turned the thing around, and I was like, that's all my friends and I'm not there. So I'm fucking sad, but
Yeah.
we'll treat that as its own topic.
Be sad with us. I'm sure there's a lot of you listening that aren't at Art of Motion.
Yeah, but I only care about the people at Art of Motion because they're like the famous ones who are influential.
They're just the influential
If you're not
ones.
at Art of Motion, then you're not worth anything, which means I'm not worth
Well,
anything.
you're not part of the community, really.
Yeah, I'm drinking coffee, by the way. If we could get a coffee
Number
sponsor.
3?
Number two. I'm trying to stick to 2 a day. If we could get a coffee sponsor, I'd be very grateful.
Who got a coffee sponsor? I swear some podcast got a coffee sponsor. It might be someone I...
Really?
Yeah. Well, for some reason I thought Annan had a coffee sponsor. Not even for podcasts, but he probably didn't.
I don't
where that
know.
popped into my head.
I don't know. Maybe he does. Maybe he can tell us.
I have no clue. That's a
Another
guess.
interesting intro for this episode. I was going to tell the story about almost pulling myself this morning, but I thought that would be too much.
What about the deer?
No, we won't talk about Darwin chasing a deer. That was too traumatic. And
I wish there was a way of you just playing this out, or at least okay, do it because it's.
do you want to? Okay, so audience, Darwin chased a deer and it ran into a fence, and Darwin then proceeded to try and play with the deer, and the deer was fairly young, and panicked and made really crazy noises. Just listen to the tone of my voice change when I realised that like Darwin and the deer are basically like, well, Darwin's like on the deer trying to play with it.
So Darwin has chased a deer, thinking it's a dog probably, and he's run into the fucking woods.
Oh, that was that was the previous one. This is the one where I'm running up because I was already filming because he started chasing a pheasant and I could see the deer in the background, and I said I was going to send it to Sarah and be like, "Whoa, this is a scenario that could go wrong." And
It was just you. I for some reason thought
it's
Sarah
just-
as
yeah,
well.
just me,
No,
just me.
That's horrible.
Darwin! No! Darwin! Darwin!
oh no! So that sound is the sound of a baby deer, not a baby, like a young deer, basically screaming in terror. And I thought initially it was a fucking like 10-year-old boy. I shit my pants, but it was all good in the end. I got him away, and the deer was fine. So
It's weird because I didn't know that deers made that sound. I thought it was only foxes because that's pretty much the exact same sound. If you think about it,
baby foxes when they play make pretty weird noises.
Yeah.
Oh, my iPad is not turning on. I'm waiting for it to charge so I can get my show notes. But
We got so much technology, but not the same mics.
it all doesn't work. Yeah, sorry people, this is ropey. All right. Before we get onto Art of Motion and Film Festival and everything, we haven't even done a podcast in 2 weeks.
Oh yeah.
So we did. I mean, we whammed it with
We
2.
we did 2, and then
In 2 days.
But we didn't do that on purpose because we weren't going to do one.
Marks was just like, I want to get it
weeks.
out now.
Yeah.
And then proceeded to message me every single fucking day afterwards
So
going,
good
how many
release.
listens has it got? How many listens has it got? So it's done fairly well, Marks, if you're listening, but you're probably not.
That was a fun one though.
It was a good one. But yeah, so sorry we haven't had one. We've all been a bit all over the shop, but also I feel like at the same time we haven't done that much. Like,
No.
we've met up and we went and filmed some stuff, some promo stuff, but we didn't actually do a podcast.
Why didn't we do a podcast then? Did we forget?
I don't know. I think we just ran out of time.
Oh, okay.
Um,
When will that... Is that...
when I know when the trousers are actually
Yeah,
going to
yeah.
hit the UK, because currently it's all up in the air, as always. But I more have on the notes last week of boringness. What interesting, boring things have you done that do not even come close to the excitement of our emotion? Because I've done some fucking
God.
boring shit in the last week.
Literally just on the internet for way too long.
So you've procrastinated.
Yeah, there you go. Just procrastinated for a very, very, very long time and drinking way too much tea.
Didn't know what you were going to say then.
No, not
Drinking way too much. I mean, there's worse things to drink, to be fair.
well, not like tea. Like I have one tea in the morning and then and yeah,
Well, that what? So you have one tea.
one tea in the morning, but then you have like loads of like ginger tea and all of that. Just a hot drink every 5 minutes is apparently what you do when you stay at home for ages.
I'm not in that realm unless it's coffee or my peppermint tea after my dinner to
Yeah, but the
soothe the
peppermint
stomach.
tea, coming over here and having a peppermint tea, that's what got me into
How
like...
fucking boring are we? Like, religious peppermint tea after every dinner.
Tea is so good. I love it.
It is.
Calming. What's your teeth?
Well, I mean, yeah, I was just thinking about how jealous I am at our motion, and then was also thinking about all the mundane shit that I've just ticked off in the last like week. In the sense that
Oh, you went to the dentist?
I went to the hygienist for the first time in 6 years and had my teeth cleaned, and she scraped loads of shit off of them, and they're all fucking sparkly white now. Well, they're not that white because I drink too much black coffee, but she was like, "Wash your mouth out with water after every coffee," and I was like, "Okay."
You probably do that anyway. You drink
Yeah.
so much water.
I think it's like immediately after though.
Oh, right.
Oh, the iPad's on, glowing with the image that is going to go on one of our autumn winter pieces that is not out yet. Let me just load up these show notes so I don't have to fucking stare across at the computer. I also went and paid £130 to have custom orthotics made.
Oh, yes, you did.
Which
I was
right
wondering what...
there next to you actually, because I took them out.
Yes,
I got
actually
custom
held
insoles for
them
my
yet.
feet.
Oh,
I've always told.
pretty hard.
Yeah, they're really hard.
Yeah.
I've always said like I've had like flat feet, and I know I've had feet issues, and it's always given my knees and my hips and stuff like that kind of issues. And I finally went and actually got looked at, and he was like, "Yeah, your arches have basically collapsed." So it kind of actually in my head I was like, "Oh, so this explains why I keep having these things, because you've obviously got to fix it from the base up."
Oh, it feels quite comfy.
Yeah,
I know
they're
it's
nice.
not. It's custom to your feet, but having something in your arch. Is
Yeah,
quite nice,
yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah, because like he put me on this thing, and basically my arch is like flat, and it should be arched.
Yeah.
Which means that in turn my knees, my hips, back, everything gets fucked up. So hopefully now that I'm treating that, then I might start to see some results, which will be cool.
Yeah, boy.
So that's another boring thing. I also did a fucking day of hard drives and bullshit.
How many hard drives do you own?
I actually don't know, probably 20 or 30, because I've also got duplicates at my mum's house of each like year, and then
It's
I've
that
still
metal thing.
that's for the hard drives, yeah, and then that plastic box is for the hard drives. I've got like things like Spit, we've got a couple of copies of. Resurgence, I've got 2 copies of separate, just because like the footage, because I filmed all that in 4K, so it's like big boy clips. Roof Culture, I've still got a couple of copies of, even though I know like Toby and that lot have it as well, but I just feel like that's the kind of footage that needs to be safe forever.
Yeah. Well, you've always said that you don't like to get rid of your footage, which is I
And I had a
think
fucking
so
panic.
good.
I literally couldn't find the year of 2017, and it was on that NAS, which I haven't turned on since moving to this house, which is well over a year ago.
This thing?
No, the big black box there, the Netgear thing.
That
Yeah,
that's a hard drive.
That's got 16 terabytes in it.
16 terabytes.
Open the little door.
What door?
Pull the other side. Sorry, listeners. This is
Like that?
yeah.
You sure?
Yeah. No. Okay, there's like just pull it on the front. There you go.
I was pulling
Yeah,
so
so look,
far.
they're all hard drives.
Oh my! I know you
Oh
guys
my.
can't see this, but I haven't seen anything like
My
this
little
before.
cupboard of data.
Jesus fucking
So
Christ!
if anyone
is
robs
that...
my house, if they steal my hard drives, I'll be so upset.
It's not that you'd be. I'll be so upset.
Yeah. I'll fucking-
That's crazy. How much does something like that cost?
The actual container thing, I can't remember how much it was at the start, but it's mainly the hard drives were expensive, like,
Yeah.
because they're fast and they're big.
And do you have to have specific hard drives for that?
They're just like internal ones, but that is rated so that even if there's like 16 terabytes on there, but you can't actually fill the entire thing up.
Yeah.
It splits all the footage across all the hard drives to like protect it.
Oh, okay.
So one of those hard drives could fail and the footage would still be safe, basically.
That's sick. That's so good.
So yeah,
that's not a travel thing, is it?
No, it's the size of a fucking small car. Yeah. So if you're into footage and data, then that's pretty tickety-boo, isn't it?
Yeah.
Film festival is over. It closed yesterday, midnight Hawaii time. That was a hectic
time.
Well, technically I've always said midnight on the 30th, but then I realised that if you live in Hawaii, like, which is the furthest time zone back, it's unfair to like cut you off at whatever fucking time it is in the day for you. It's like, well, we may as well have the full day. So shit load of submissions, especially in the last few days. Like this year I was kind of worrying because I was like, it doesn't feel like that many people have submitted. And then the last week, I think we doubled the amount of submissions in 1 week.
Really?
Yeah, we had almost 200 submissions in total. Photo categories were a huge hit because I think it's just photos are easy to go out and do compared to a video.
It's also just different.
Drone category was the least submitted to and definitely will be dropped next year.
But I kind of understand that because I don't think as many people. I mean, a fair amount of people own drones, but I don't think it's as big now. It's not as exciting as it used to be.
Drones aren't a niche anymore, and it's effort to actually do a decent. Like, there's so many submissions for the movement video had drone footage in it. Some really cool shots.
Are you allowed to use drone footage?
Yeah, good. But they didn't submit drone videos because it's just way harder.
Yeah.
And also rules and regulations are getting way stricter for drones soon. Kai was telling me because he's getting licensed at the moment. Which means that by next year, like, just flying a drone is going to be a fucking pain in the ass. So we're going to drop that category.
I'm not really surprised anyway, because when you think of all the
kind of
all the shit that could go wrong if you're flying a drone.
Yeah.
Just hit the mic. If you're flying near certain things,
airports and things. Exactly.
Yeah.
It was a cool festival, and I'm excited for the. Hold up, Keelan's just being a spaz.
Well, your phone doesn't stay on forever.
Yeah.
I'm basically playing on his phone because I'm a child. I can't.
My train of thought. I only had a few beers last night. My head's
beers.
My head is wrecked. The quality this year was, I think, immensely better. Initially, I was worried, as I said, and some of the quality was coming through, and I was like, because you at the end of the day, if you're giving away like prizes, and we got some really cool prizes, you kind of want it going to like decent, because then people are going to go and watch that film and be like, oh, I can see why it won. You don't want like a half-assed one.
Yeah. Well, I can definitely see, especially with
documentary, the Scott Jackson one.
Yeah, I haven't watched it yet, but it already looks
the production value.
So good.
I haven't watched it yet. If anyone's wondering, like, people who've submitted, although I check them in terms of their length and kind of whether or not they fit the rules, which most people fucking try to break, I don't watch them because I'm going to have to watch them all anyway as part of the judging, and therefore like I want to sit down and do it with fresh eyes. I don't have to see the same thing twice because
exactly. It's a good thing. I want to watch them as well. I know it must get.
Oh god,
must get a bit long.
It was last year. The documentary length was like considerably longer, and it just some of the ones just dragged on, and you're watching them, and you're like, fuck, like, and you want to give them time. Like, you don't want to like watch 3 minutes and be like, nah, it's shit. Like,
you want to be nice.
Yeah, but speaking of the rules, the amount of fucking people who just like submit a movement video, literally they just make an 8-minute long movement video and submit it to the documentary category, and they email and they're like, oh yeah, this is too long for the movement, so I'm putting it into documentary. And I'm like, it's not a documentary. Like, and initially I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to start emailing people and being like, sorry, it doesn't fit, like we won't accept it. And then I was like, well, they've put effort in, it's gonna go on, like, we'll put it on the website, they can feel like they're taking part, but at the end of the day,
it's not going to score highly.
It's just not going to,
broke some of the rules.
Exactly. Like, the judges will just immediately be like, no, it's not a documentary.
Yeah.
So there's things like that. But yeah, I was in two minds about whether or not I had to, like, essentially tell people no, or just be like, yeah, whatever. And then,
That's hard.
Creative photo was an interesting one as well, because we did action shot, which was like a raw, genuine moment, which people really got. And then we did
I haven't seen
creative.
many of those. Well, I just haven't seen any of the photos
Because you
yet.
just don't look at it. You spend all this time on the internet and you don't listen to podcasts and you don't look at the Motus website.
I literally spend time just on YouTube, wasting away. With my eyes barely open.
The creative category was meant to be for like Photoshop compositions, multiple frame, like creative things in terms of like editing. What people started to do was actually submit more creative photos. So like, I mean, the most classic was people just took a photo of a flip and turned it upside down and was like, whoa, he's upside down. And initially I was like, fuck, this isn't what I was looking for. But then I was like, well, everyone's submitting this style of photos, so
Yeah.
we'll just have to sort of change what we're looking for in terms of the judging, I think, to fit that. Because otherwise it means so many
So many people, won't
some
get.
fucking cool creative submissions though, like some really cool shit. That'll be one of the really hard ones to judge.
Yeah. So how many categories are there in total then?
Movement, documentary, drone, continuous one shot, and then 2 photo categories. So 6.
I've seen some people put on their stories actually when they've like banged a one shot or something.
Yeah.
And they put it up like, one shot is done.
And it takes some of the. I've sort of scanned through some of them, and you get like somebody will do like a flip onto some grass, and you can see how many fucking dents are in the grass. From where they've done that run like 20, 30 times.
Cool. I'm excited to see that.
That's always a fun one because I think it's just a challenge. It's like, how do you make it creative filming wise, and how do you do good filming but also keep it entertaining for the action?
Yeah.
So I saw one. The entire one shot's filmed on a train.
On a train?
On a train. The guy's doing movement on a train, and I haven't seen all of it yet, but it looks.
Oh shit!
I got excited when I saw that one.
That's so cool.
So yeah, go and check it out. Parkourfilmfestival.com. You can go and look at all the submissions, and we got a month of judging. It's basically, I just set a massive judging window because actually getting the people, Kai, Toby, etc., to find the time to judge, I want to give them time to breathe. And then we'll release in my head I'm like November 1st, but I've just said early November for the winners, which is sick.
Winners.
Oh, I need more water because I've just finished my coffee and I've got to keep my
your
sparkling
mouth
teeth clean.
Yeah, lovely. ASMR. Is it MSR?
ASMR,
no,
yeah.
ASMR, that's it.
BDSM.
BDSM, ASMR.
What's BDSM even stand for? Bondage.
I only know the bondage bit.
BDSM. Bondage, domination. Isn't it like sexual masochism?
It just all sounds really terrible.
Sandy man parts.
Sandy man parts. That's a category, I know that. Sandy man parts.
Shall we do art emotion?
Yeah, I mean, it's never going to stay on forever, is it?
I can.
Basically, I'm using Giles' phone because we love our show notes, but
you take the iPad.
Oh yes.
I'll take the phone, but we got the charging cable.
I've got an upgrade.
It's got a bigger screen for his little eyes.
Yeah.
Oh no! Hold the fucking phone.
What?
Hold up. Are we not going to talk about what you did yesterday?
I was waiting for you to ask.
Oh my god! This was what I wanted to start the show with.
Well, if anyone's like actually stuck through at least 20 minutes.
This is the greatest Kelan story I've ever heard.
Like thinking about it now, though, it's something that.
Can you see the funny side now, in a way?
Oh no, I've always seen the funny side. It was just it was fucking stressful. Like, I just didn't, I didn't want to be in that position at all. Do you know what I mean?
It's literally like a film or a TV show.
Yeah, yeah.
It is literally.
If someone made a film or like a short film about that, I'd watch it. It's just funny.
Yeah. All right, tell the story.
Oh,
Set the scene.
The woman who's doing the interview might be listening in.
Yeah, maybe.
No, but I've been looking for a job for a while. Just like I just want like a night shift job, so it's just one night a week or 2 nights a week. So I had an interview with Waitrose yesterday.
At 2:00, right?
At 2, yeah. So it was at 2:00, and this is in Sevenoaks. And I always get confused. Actually, do you know what? I'll just tell it, and then you can realise at the same time that I realise.
Yeah.
So I walk in. You have to find the desk. It's always really confusing to find what desk you go to because it's all just like cashiers and things or whatever you call it. I speak to someone. I'm like, yeah, I'm here for an interview, and they're like, oh yeah, it's cool. Just sign in here. I sign in. They take me through to the back of the shop, and I have to wait in the lounge. For a bit, I get chatting with I waited there for quite a while.
Were there other people interviewing?
Yeah. No, there was no one being interviewed, but I got taken into a lounge where loads of people were having their lunch break.
Okay.
And it was so nice. I was just chatting with all of them, like, like, what are you applying for? I was like, oh, night shift, and they were like, oh, night shifts, and like, I don't feel like that's. I didn't think that was still going, and I was like, oh, did you used to do it? And I was like, yeah, I like back in the day I used to do it, but not anymore. This guy was like probably in his 60s or something.
Yeah.
Like, he was super nice, but yeah, I stayed there for a while, and then I got called in. You know, general interview.
How long does it last?
I'm pretty sure it lasts like an hour.
Really?
Yeah. It said on.
What the fuck do you talk about?
Oh, I don't know. It's just so long. Like, interviews
Can you
are so long
stack
now.
shelves?
Yeah, but they don't even ask. It's confusing questions, right? Whenever you're working in retail, there's so many questions about the customer. Yet every time I'm applying for a role that you have no customer interaction at all.
Yeah.
But I guess it's kind of similar.
But sure,
I'm basically going for, I think it's some stock replenisher or something like.
Yeah.
You get the deliveries come in to restock.
Pick up the baked beans, put them on the shelf.
Yeah, you put them on the shelf. You have your own aisle, and you know you make sure everything's tidy and whatnot. But like, it's pretty full on, but just no customer interaction. But yeah, it was like, I think, halfway through the interview, after you got all like the bullshit out of the way, like just who you are and what you do.
And this is Waitrose, right? Which is like an upper market.
Yeah. And they're like, oh, so what hours did you apply for? Because even though they know usually what hours, they will ask you because they're just interested. And I was like, oh, well, it's a night shift, so I can't remember the times. It actually didn't, because he didn't say. He just said night shift. And they were like, night shift? We don't do night shifts here. And I was like, oh, no. I went on the Waitrose website and I applied, and it said night shift. And they were like, this isn't Waitrose, this is M&S. And I was like, oh yeah, I meant M&S, sorry. And literally, like, I don't think I've been that scared in a very, very, very long time.
So
so people know, because that was long-winded as fuck, I went into M&S thinking it was Waitrose. I don't know if any of you've ever got them mixed
Marks
up.
and Spencer, so he walked into a different shop. Completely different shop.
And went through I'm halfway through the interview process. And I'm at the completely wrong interview. Waitrose are expecting me, and I'm not there. M&S has gone through this like half the interview, and they don't know yet that I'm not supposed to be there. And I've signed in like my own name. It's not like I'm someone else.
It's not like you've taken the shoot.
And luckily, as well, no, I'm not taking the job. Like, well, I'll go through it, but
what's the icing on the cake of the whole scenario?
Well, yeah, I either had two decisions whether to be like, shit, sorry, I'm at the completely wrong building, like, and leave, or I just try and go through the whole interview.
Yeah.
And obviously I did that because I could not admit that I'd fucked up that badly.
You're like, sorry, I'm actually in the wrong place.
Yeah. So I just went through the whole interview. So that was like another
half an hour or so.
Yeah.
Fuck.
It was really, really long. And then this is the type of job where they don't email you whether you've got it. They just tell you afterwards whether you've got it or not. And then she was literally just like, oh, well, you'll be happy to hear that you've got the job. And like, I didn't really know how to react. Like, I didn't really act good.
And what are the hours?
Well, they're stupid hours. They're it's 30-hour contract, which is way too much. I was applying so I could get like a really small job on the side.
Yeah.
And it's temp as well, so it's only for like.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it's only for a few months. I can't remember how.
Yeah.
But that's even worse. I'm not looking for temp. I'm looking for part time.
So to anyone who hasn't worked that out, he walked into the wrong building for the wrong company, happened to do an interview that was happened to be running, and then got a job that he doesn't want.
That I don't want, and then they like, oh, so what size are you for your work clothes?
Did they like get the tape measure out? Like,
no, I was just like giving them sizes, and I was just shitting myself. Like, I don't want them to order my clothes. I'm not going to be here.
Now we need to brand you with the M&S logo.
The scariest part was I'd never been to an interview where they tell you you've got the job afterwards.
Yeah.
They're always like, we'll email you or we'll call you, because nowadays that's how it works.
Yeah.
So I was wondering, like, so I wonder if in the email that you would have got from M&S, they're like, oh, after the interview you go straight to your onboarding or something. Like, because it's straight away. Imagine if she took me down and showed me all the work area. Like,
can you start now?
Yeah. I was just planning to. Well, I was thinking like, okay, what could I do? Like, I could say I feel like really sick or something.
Just
and
fucking leg it. Yeah.
But no, I got let out and afterwards, and I literally didn't know what to do. I think I called you like
You
a few
messaged me and you were
times.
like, I fucked up.
Yeah, I was trying to find someone to just call because I didn't know what the fuck was going on. I was kind of like happy at this point, but when I got home, it was just so much stress. I was like, fuck, like I missed an interview, and then I have to like try and contact this
Now you've got
Marks and Spencer's.
roped into a job you don't want.
So next week, I have apparently got an onboarding with a job that I'm definitely not doing.
That's amazing.
So I need to, as soon as I get an email from them, I need to reply with like, sorry, I found work elsewhere. I just got hired. Thank you for your offer, which isn't bad because that happens all the time. But
you know what you should do though, because you're going back for an interview with waitress, right?
Yes.
Tell them the story and be like, they just say, I just got accepted for a 30-hour contract, but I don't want it. Like, and just tell. I think the story's so funny that they might fucking love it.
yeah, but also that's the only excuse they'll probably accept. Then like, oh, I couldn't come to the interview because I was partying or I was at a friend's
I mean,
house.
it makes you look bad in the sense that you walked into the wrong building.
Yeah.
But if the person is like,
But Marks and Spencer's, M&S,
they
and
are
Waitrose,
the two most like similar.
The colour combos and like everything.
It's the green and
The green,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it's
yeah.
the kind of the slightly more expensive shops.
Yeah, for sure.
Also, Seven Oaks they have had them for years, but it's the newer retail stores. So like they're at the complete opposite sides of the town completely.
I love that story.
But I'm shocked that I got a job there.
Yeah.
I had to like turn on acting for like half an hour.
Yeah.
I had to just be like, okay, full on acting mode and guess, because some of the questions are going to be something that you don't know.
Just copy
You're
and
not
paste the
prepared.
answers for your next interview and you'll be fine.
Yeah, exactly. But I got really friendly with the woman who was interviewing me. Like,
no.
oh,
It's so annoying because if that had been like the right hours for you, that story as a whole would be
have
one of
been
the
epic,
And then like you'd meet a fucking girl there, and then a year later you're married, and you've got
And then
it's
that's
all
all
because,
because-
I just walked into the wrong building. Like,
but this kind of shows like you just act confident. Like I was
Bullshit your way
confidently
through
going into that store. Like, yeah, I've got an interview.
yeah,
I could do that anywhere basically,
Yeah,
and
what
just
the
see if I
fuck?
get turned down. Like, it's not.
just walk into like an Apple store and be like, yeah, I've got an interview.
Yeah, and then they'll go through the interview process, and then you just.
And the manager probably goes like, "Oh fuck, I forgot.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
obviously didn't remember to write his name down. Like, okay, we'll do the interview now."
But it's weird because there was nothing like that. They obviously had interviews that day. Do you know what I mean?
or
I'm
it
so
was,
confused.
or they,
behind closed doors, they were like, "Oh shit!" Like,
yeah, we've obviously forgotten to interview
because
this
I had
guy.
to wait for quite a while in that lounge.
They were freaking out.
were
Like,
freaking
they were
out,
like, what's
like,
his name? What's his name?
What's his name? Fuck, we can't find it. We'll just have to like give him the job because we fucked off on our end.
Amazing.
But yeah, now that's all over.
Yeah.
it's good. But I'd fucking hell, like getting home was stressful as fuck. And
Yeah, I was kind of like, ha, Kelan, that story's amazing. And then I realised that you like weren't in the best headspace, and I was like,
yeah,
oh.
no. I found it funny, but I think it was the aftermath of like I don't know how to deal with the situation.
Yeah.
If it was just I walk away and then that's fine.
But now you're like, you've got to turn down, yeah.
Yeah, but then turning down a job isn't really against the law or anything.
No,
It's completely normal, but fuck. Yeah, so that's this whole year. I think that's probably like the craziest thing that's happened so far this year.
Definitely a weird one for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely strange. Anyway, away from people getting normal jobs, like normal people earning money, let's go to a foreign country where loads of our friends are doing cool shit and we're not.
The more we talk about this, the more I'm
And
kind of missing
they're
it.
potentially getting money from jumping off walls, and Keelan's getting money for stacking shelves, because fuck you guys. No, I love you all, really. If there's anyone listening to this in material right now, unless it is the Sunday and you're hungover...
And I've got my... Oh, right, I thought you were going to say, I've got spare money, I'll just fly them over now.
No. Like, if you are listening to this and you are out there now, stop the podcast and go and enjoy yourself. Don't, unless you're wandering around sightseeing, I guess, and you want something to listen to. But there's better things to do in a foreign country, surrounded by your friends, than listen to us.
Maybe after a long day's training and having
lie
fun,
in bed.
lie in bed and you listen to the podcast and just think how privileged you
There's
are.
probably
to
a
be
group
there.
of guys like 10 deep in a room, sleeping on the floor, listening to this.
And they're like,
we're
we're here. We're here.
Yeah. If we clickbait the shit out of this, like fuck Art of Motion for the name, then everyone there will listen to it. Why
a good
Art of
idea.
Motion's a scam?
Because we can't go.
Yeah. No, so the main comp is this Saturday. Keelan finishes work pretty much bang when the comp starts. He's going to whiz over to mine and we're going to watch it and then we're going to record an episode straight afterwards.
So you can start the live stream and I'll just make sure I come in while it's happening.
Yeah.
Because I don't think it would have properly
No, it
started,
doesn't.
right?
And there's always that. It's always the first fucking athlete's run is the most awkward thing. Every single time they're like, okay, and it's always Jesse Peveril. It used to always be Jesse Peveril.
Poor Jesse.
Yeah, like he always used to be first, and they'd be like, okay, Jesse, you ready? And then they're like, DJ, hit it. And then the music doesn't play, and they're like, because the whole thing's on TV, so it's against the clock. And they're like, Jesse, go anyway. And then the music starts halfway through his run, and they're like, wait, go back to this. And there's
Fucking hell.
the start of the comp is always like a little bit ropey. The live stream camera operators are like working out where people are going and shit like this.
But big up Red Bull for putting up with Art of Motion for this many years.
Yeah.
I can't believe it's still going.
Well, and I mean, so we were saying earlier, because we were looking at the Red Bull website, I know for a fact that this year Red Bull are putting more focus on for parkour, free running, whatever you want to call it, and the Art of Motion, and you can tell, like, Jason's had some big production videos. Dom's got one coming out tonight where he's jumping out of a helicopter in Switzerland. They're putting even if you, like, just scroll down their website, like, some of the kind of blog posts and, like, features, they've got a lot of parkour stuff going on. Like, they're really...
Yeah, that was one of Dom.
A Cairo video with Dom. So they're obviously putting quite a lot of focus into it.
Yeah,
That's
really cool.
They actually did an interview with Nico talking about the difference between parkour and free running, which I found interesting. Yeah, and they kind of like...
What did they say?
They kind of... I mean, Nico said, like, stuff I agree with in the sense that there was a period where it felt like it was getting separated, but now everyone just calls it parkour, and it's like, well...
That's exactly how I feel. I'm so done with
Splitting
it
Yeah.
because it's just doesn't even solve anything, does it?
Yeah.
Do whatever. I like so many people who are from different
there's no
sides.
point being like,
Oh, you're a free runner.
Yeah, exactly.
but so Art of Motion, the qualifiers are happening today, this afternoon, which
Exciting!
if we were on it, we'd record this afterwards.
Someone would probably. Oh, this afternoon I'll be at work. I was going to say someone would probably live stream it.
Yeah,
on
for
Instagram.
sure. I'll try and snatch it, watch it. But I mean, so qualified athletes already, because obviously they've refreshed, so not everyone is from 2 years ago gets to go in straight away. So we got Christian Kowaleski, Ed Scott from NAPC, Titarenko from 2 years ago, blue shorts, and Nate Weston. They're the
only ones that have pre-qualified.
They're the pre-qualifiers. Then there's Fosso Vicari, who is the Italian wildcard. And then we had the online video submissions. We had Didi, Spinboy,
Yes.
Archie from Russia, Yurai, I think his name is, from Japan.
Oh yeah, you're right.
And then Sydney, Sheva, and Lilu, and Silky.
Nice.
Who out of that list are you most excited to see compete?
Oh. Well,
fuck, I'm excited for Ed.
It's really, really hard.
Shit, that is already that's fucking stacked. If you think about it, if
Yeah.
you're like, oh well,
Ed for sure, because he won't do a competition without trying to push something
yeah,
ridiculous.
Ed's
Like,
gonna go
always-
in hard.
He's always like, okay, I actually need to focus on something different.
The thing,
I mean, not necessarily different, but like at NAPC, the side, no one was going to do that side pre.
it's like, he's like, what am I going to do that's going to set me up?
He's thinking, he thinks strategically, which is pretty sick.
And the thing about Ed, right, is that because we were saying about Archie, like, I don't know Archie, I haven't seen him, I don't know if I've ever seen him in person.
Competed at some of the FIG competitions.
He's a fucking beast, but I've seen quite a lot of, like, people who maybe haven't competed in Art of Motion. Like, I
know what you mean.
People come to their first year at Art of Motion and they throw down too hard and they do something too risky and they fall over and they fuck it. Because nowadays, if you fall over, you're fucked. Like, you don't have a chance. But and also they don't prepare the correct line for the comp.
Yeah.
Ed's very fucking good at that. Like, he knows how to tick all the boxes.
He's kind of like dialed it.
Yeah.
Now, hasn't
like, Didi is one I'm so excited to see because
I just want to know whether he can land because I know that he's.
Can he do it all on the moment on the day?
Yeah,
like,
because he's so fucking good. Like that submission as well.
But it's like,
probably
how many
one
attempts?
of the sickest things. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I know that in like I mean, I've only been to one art of motion. I've seen him compete in art of motion before, and he will try and throw down some really big shit, and not always like land it. That's just everyone does that. But I want him to land everything because everything was so cool in the video.
Yeah, and he always battles injuries and stuff like this, and I feel like he's not the best person at resting. Like the amount I talk to him so often, he's like, "Oh, I'm injured again," and I'm like, "Stop training," and then he posts like some crazy shit, and you're like, "Stop training." But he's excited. They're all fucking exciting.
They're all fucking good. I'm just really excited to see. I was saying beforehand the Yuri.
Yeah.
The Japanese. I think he's Japanese.
Yeah. He's a beast.
Just because out of all these people, if you have a look, like we know Didi. To be honest, I don't.
Spin Boy's a fucking tank.
Oh, that's Spin Boy.
Yeah.
Okay, I know these three. I've seen a lot of recently. This guy, I've seen some like Instagram stuff, but I never see him at like big events or.
And he's on the other side of the world.
Exactly, and he's throwing down some mad shit. So.
And then we have the ladies so it's a mixed final. I only just found this out. Like, so it's not gonna be a separate thing, which is sick because where I've read it on the Rebel website, they say like, I mean, there are girls now who can just fucking slay.
Oh yeah,
so,
we were watching Lilu and
like some of the shit Lilu's doing in Sydney. Like, I mean, all the girls. So that's
I'm excited to see the girls.
I'm very excited. It's funny because it's like you look at Art Motion as an event, and the competition is a huge factor of it. But I think I'm probably actually more upset that I'm not there just for the fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the comp is sick, but I can watch the comp on TV.
Yeah, it's not the comp. Well, you are there for the comp. That's the reason everyone's there. But it's the energy that the comp provides.
Yeah,
and with you get all of the right people
in the right place.
Yeah, in the right place.
Yeah.
It's a shame that they don't have quad bikes though. I'm just guessing.
Quad bike. Yeah, no, it's a very different looking town. I'm curious. I mean, they're obviously fixing up the courses to make them suitable. So I don't think anyone's going to come away and be like, "Oh, the course was shit because I fell through a roof."
Yeah.
But I think it's whether or not people.
I just want to know how many people are going to get in trouble for training.
I've seen a lot of people just walking around the edge of like what look like just people's houses.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
It's like I wonder how
many people are going to complain
by the end of this week. What the kind of presence is going to be like.
I reckon it might be, unless everyone there is like happy and like stoked. I don't even like that word, but all the people who live there are like, yeah, we love this.
I think first year probably okay, bar a few older people who were like, get off my property. Mm-hmm. I reckon it's that Santorini effect where I don't think it's going to stay here. I think this is only a temporary one, but they just get pissed after a few years because they're like, oh, here comes the fucking troublemakers. Like,
yeah. But I'm wondering if they're going to build anything around the city so you can train.
That's the thing. I'm like, I've seen people training on little spots here and about on Instagram, but I don't know how good the actual city is for training. Full stop.
Yeah.
It's like whether or not if 200 people go there, they're actually going to be like just sessioning curbs and like a few stair sets and things.
Santorini has so many spots.
I'm just
saying it's
like when you go to the old town and you look and there's like 100 people spread out over the rooftops and you're like, this is sick.
You have that, and then you also have that spot that's actually just ground level walls.
Yeah.
Even that, like, that is a really good spot.
It's a really good spot. Yeah.
And it's just wall, like, you forget that it's Santorini Roos, and then that's just like a wall spot.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it will it ever return there?
I don't think so. Well, not for the time being anyway, so maybe I'll just buy the island and then we'll host our own competition.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
Kaz just purchased Santorini.
Yeah.
So qualifiers is today. I don't know I know there's loads of people going out there. Joe Scandrett's like going to scrape in late as always, I saw. One person, the person I'm most excited to see qualify, I think, out of people being there. Actually, I know Pasha's qualifying.
That's interesting.
Or trying to, but just for fun.
It would be sick to see him do some of his weird
like
shit.
Fucked shit.
Like just like I feel like because it's a competition and kind of a show.
Yeah.
He might do some weird. You know how he's doing stuff on Instagram.
Didi said he's just going to do it for fun, but then that's how Pasha kind of is best. So it's like
So if he does some of the weird stuff,
he'll like dive head first and skim his head on a wall and then dive roll. Yeah.
Oh, that'd be good.
But so the person I'm most looking forward to seeing qualify qualify, and I know they will qualify unless they fuck up, is Josh Malone.
Yeah, same.
I saw I didn't realise he was there, and then I saw he was there, and I was like, cool, he's in the comp.
Yeah.
Josh Malone is a
so
fucking
sick.
tank, and he's
so
a sick guy. But
I saw some of his... Wait, did you see his Instagram? Like, some clips?
Yeah. I need to put this on the
already doing
record.
some good shit.
Yeah, at NAPC, he twice came over. He was like, Giles, I need to do this. Can I have a kiss? I gave him a little kiss on his neck. And then before the finals, he came over again, so I gave him a little kiss on his neck. And both times he was like, thank you. So, Josh, I can't give you a proper kiss, but there you go. So if he qualifies, it's because of that little kiss.
Yeah. Bless him.
But yeah, no, he's a tank, and he deserves to get in as well. Like,
Yeah.
he's been working so hard. So
He's kind of come out of nowhere as well. I've seen some of his videos over the years or whatever. I think someone's shown me his videos, but now I've seen him in person. It's just so much better than I thought. Like,
yeah.
He's always been good.
He's always been like in and out. Like, you're aware. You're like, oh, that was cool. And now he's like at a constant. Like, he's got to that level where he's undeniably sick.
Yeah.
And he's got like a really unique style, but also it's not the most unique style.
No,
but somehow he makes it his own.
When you think of someone's silhouette when they're training, it's
big
pretty
fucking
easy.
floppy hair.
Well, big floppy hair, but also like how he does his tricks.
Yeah.
It's quite easy to see it's him. But also just, I feel like his style in general as a character is really sick.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know.
Yeah, no, he's a sick guy. The qualifiers is always a fun one because, well, I say fun. That sounds like I'm a fucking...
A fun one, did you say?
Well, basically what I'm trying to say is you get a lot of people throwing down really hard who maybe can't actually throw down that hard, and then...
So you're excited to see some bails?
Well, no, I'm not excited to see people get hurt.
Not hurt, bails and hurt is
but
different.
it's
fun to be like...
Yeah, there's always someone who's too sketchy, and they're just fucking... And every time the judges and the organisers are like, do not throw down too hard. The judges want to... Because I think it's jam style, or it used to be. They're like, we just want to see you... Just be you, and the judges will kind of pick you out, because the judges already have an idea of the people. Like Josh, the judges will already be like, we know Josh is good, like, let's see what he can do, and if he ticks enough boxes, they'll be like, yeah, he's a safe bet.
Yeah,
they don't want some fucking reckless sketchy guy to come through. But then you get fucking like Blue Shorts, like
I was gonna say,
just came out of nowhere,
and he was doing some sketchy shit, but then never actually bailed.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, and
but because I also,
watch.
when you don't know the person, like when because in the qualifiers he threw one of those big running sideways gainer things.
Yeah, cheat gainer things.
Yeah, and everyone, because they didn't know him, it was like, oh, he's gonna die, and now you're like, oh, that's his move.
Yeah, exactly. You know that he's capable of doing some really disgusting things.
Yeah.
So,
But no, I'm fucking hopefully I can catch a live stream and see, and I'm excited to see who else gets through. I can't remember how many extra spots there are, but there's more girls to get through, and then Camilla's out there.
Oh yeah, I wonder if she'll get
international traveller.
She did some pretty cool stuff at NAPC.
I reckon she could get through. Yeah.
She's the big trick. That was cool. She did like that. What was it? The inward side off the wall. Do you remember that? The cat inward side.
Oh yeah.
And it was just like so chill.
It was a dyno up into it,
and then just
she combined, and it was pop. That was sick. Yeah. She's a beast. So.
But what moves do you reckon we'll be seeing?
So my predictions is, I think this year will be the first year we see because the people have trucked doubles before, like very occasionally, like Kelan did
back out, but landed on his knees.
Yeah, not double side. That's obvious. I think this will be the first year where we start probably more than one like full in back out type thing, for sure, or even double backflip. That kind of thing, and triple twists. I think we will see a number. It used to be that like a double was impressive, and then a double became standard. But
doubles are so standard.
No one checked. And then no one. If you do a single twist, unless it is literally part of like a build up into a bigger thing.
Yeah.
Like, you know how the Japanese guy that he was doing that like simple line, and then he in his qualifier,
and then he just banged a double side.
Yeah. That's where you put a full twist in. But anything else, if you're doing full twist, like, you're not going to get fucking close.
No.
And now it's like people like Ed have triple on lock. On lock in certain circumstances.
It depends what setup you're given. Like if the course has a perfect
Archie banging that triple in his qualifier.
I feel like he will send a triple. But also I think I've seen Josh do triple before as well.
Yeah, I think he has.
Yeah. There's definitely going to be a number of double side flips because they're nearly as chill as double twists.
Double side flips are now just like nothing.
Yeah, but I get really hyped when it's done nicely because it's really easy for loads of people to do them in comps.
Yeah.
They're just really hard to get that.
And I think we're going to see a lot more like souk variations, like souk full, and also Katahara type thing. Because people like DD, he obviously does like that fucking sick line that he finishes with Katahara. No, he does Katahara to full out. So there's stuff like that. Ed obviously can do souk full like a beast. I haven't seen any bars on the course actually. Just thinking about it, I think
they only ever have a really small bar section, don't they?
Yeah, but I think I remember seeing in Jason's video that they are going to build some. I'd like them to.
I'd like it to be more mixed though. As in, I don't want it to be there's the bar section in the corner. I'd like to see
that's the hardest
thing. Bar
thing.
Sticking out and it goes into the floor.
Yeah. That's what they've always struggled with, especially in Santorini because bars have to be built.
Yeah.
So like the first course in Santorini, they had like a bar section. The second course they tried to put like one bar in and I think it broke or something, so they gave up on it.
Jesus.
But yeah, I mean bars are obviously such a huge part of it, and some athletes are just like, if they get on the bars they're dominating.
Yeah, exactly.
Like once they get to the bars. Oh no, actually no, the old course at Santorini did have a bar section, but I think
down the bottom.
Yeah, they tried.
Just a square.
It was just a square, but they tried to put in another bit on the first year in that new course.
Okay.
And then I think that it wouldn't stay or something.
Yeah. But if it was just mixed, then those people who do dominate on bars, I want to see it all mixed in with their run instead of flowing down and then their biggest thing happens on the bars.
Yeah, it's the people who bullshit their way down to their area and then do the obvious thing. And you're like, that was cool, but like, I want to see more than that. I fucking hope we don't have any more savage... Like, it's Titarenko at air whip when he hit his head.
Yeah, I really don't want to see that stuff. Like, when I was saying Bales earlier... I don't want it, but it's just like you see the funny bails and it's
like somebody doing a double side and kind of like landing on their legs a bit and like landing kind of on their side, but they're fine.
But all like, you know, like the slip outs, like where you slip out and running freeze onto your bum and then you're like,
and everyone's like, Way!
Yeah.
Or a never mind. Gotta love a never mind.
Yeah, never minds are the best. No one gets hurt, and also you're like, you were meant to do something.
If anyone doesn't know what a never mind is, it's where like halfway through your run, somebody does a fucking round off, but they don't actually do a flip, or they.
It's mostly anything to do with a wall. Like they go up to do a wall flip, and then they're like, no.
Yeah, or they do like a pop. It looks like they're going to do a pop,
the wall.
Yeah, pop palm flip, and they just slap the wall and like turn around, and all the judges you hear them, they're like, "Oh, never mind." But that's more in the qualifiers. I think you see that.
Yeah, but no, I don't want anything savage because it kills. I mean, the vibe.
It's not good for anyone.
It's not. No, it's not.
It's
not
the athlete. It's not good for the comp. It's not good for anything, and it's
no.
That's and it's scary because when like Titarenko hit his head air whip, like he is so capable of doing that movement, but Congainer is just always like
especially in a competition environment.
Yeah, just ban Congainers in. No, fuck that. That's like gymnastics. They're like,
I was going to say that illegal moves Congainer.
Just there should
double backflip, illegal move. They'll start making it. But you can do it if it's onto.
I just don't want to see people's heads hitting concrete walls. It's so fucking scary.
Oh, it is. It's horrible.
Yeah. Anything else? Any predictions? It's hard to say because we don't know all the...
I do think Ed will...
Podium.
Do it incredibly well.
I hope he doesn't listen to this prior to the comp and then, like...
Freak out with his... Oh, fuck, guys, what'd you do?
No!
No, I do think he'll do well because, obviously, his history of...
Yeah.
God, but it's so weird because he went to Art Motion, the one that we went to.
That was kind of his first comp.
That was his first... Well, he's been doing competition before, but they were like Nova City ones.
Yeah.
And the difference, like his difficulty difference.
Yeah.
Not difficult. Just his level in general compared to back then is crazy.
Yeah.
It's
but
so
also,
crazy.
he went quite hard in the qualifiers to get through, but I remember all he wanted to do was just basically...
Get his run.
Do a clean run.
Yeah.
He was like, cool, I'm in the comp. I'm not going to aim for podium. I just want to like do something that I can feel happy with. And he did that and he was so fucking happy.
Yeah.
Which is really cool.
That was cool to see.
It's hard though, because you say Ed and then you just scroll down the current list and you're like, oh, well, every single person in that list could podium. Mm-hmm. There is no one there who I'm like, probably won't.
Yeah.
Which is fucking crazy.
That's the level nowadays.
Oh, what would be sick is if there is a bar section to see a side pre to a rail.
Yeah.
Because now they've got to the stage where obviously, like, I mean, Spin Boy doing them, like Ed does them, things like this. To see one mid comp to a rail would be sick. Mm-hmm. I'd like to see that, but we'll see.
Any flip prees to rails would be ridiculous.
Dom's not in the main comp, but I'm assuming he's going to qualify. He'll probably get through because he'll just kind of do the right stuff.
He competes all the time, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I always forget that he competes.
And he's surprisingly good. That's the weird thing. You kind of think, Dom big fronts, like sometimes a bit kind of scatty.
But I also think, is he wanting to compete this year? When he goes, I forget that because he does it so much. I'm wondering, like, maybe this time he'll chill because he's like part of Red Bull.
Yeah.
But then he's so hyped all the time. He's like,
for sure,
I'm going to compete. And it's just fun to see how much excitement he has.
Yeah. I feel like I just ended on saying Dom is scatty, but he's not scatty. But like,
no,
it's you don't think as Dom as like a fluid.
Well, you don't think of him as a competition runner.
No, but then when he turns it on, he can be.
Yeah.
It's really sick.
That's because he trains with so many different people and he's smart with it. He's like, I'm going to take away this from this section because I'm training with you.
Yeah.
Which is really cool.
I don't think I could put together a podium yet.
No, neither.
Maybe after the
qualifiers, just to see what...
After the qualifiers, maybe you and me should write it down. All right, that's what we've got to do tonight.
Sick.
You and me write down our...
I don't think we should show each other.
We shouldn't show each other until afterwards.
Okay. Cool.
So Saturday we'll reveal what we chose.
Yeah.
Is
there any way you can put it like on your wall, but like facing the wall, somewhere we don't forget? So it's always
you're gonna have to write yours down on your phone because you're going home tonight.
Yeah. Wait, but why tonight?
Qualifiers is today, so we can look online later.
Yeah,
and we can see who's qualified, and then you and me can make predictions.
Okay.
And we have to stick to that. So.
Yeah. Cool. That's exciting, actually.
But yeah, we shall see.
What's the prize if you get like third place right or second place correct?
Should we do straight up like actual bookies, like money?
Yeah.
I don't know how we would do it.
I
don't know. I'm also desperate for a piss. So Kelan, over to you.
Well, if anyone else wants to take part in the competition, that would be a sick thing to do, right? If everyone writes down what they their predictions, and then keeps it. I don't know how you'd keep it private though.
We could do it on Instagram, maybe.
Yeah. But would they send in their predictions to us? Because then we already know them. I want them to write it down way before, because people could just send it in at the time of the... I'm just talking to him from all the way in here, and the toilet's over there.
Alright. Sorry, just emptying my bladder. What we can do on Instagram, we can do one of those, like, send in your questions thing, and we can say, I can do it tonight after the qualifiers.
Yeah.
So I'll say, give me your top 3 predictions, and then we can save it all, and then on Saturday, you and me can reveal ours to ourselves, but also we can go through the list.
See who is
and
correct.
be like, well done to Callum Powell for guessing the correct thing, sort of blah, blah, blah.
But if someone guesses the correct 3, that would be ridiculous.
Interactive podcasting, basically.
Interactive podcasting.
Fan kind of linking up.
Meetup.
Yeah, we'll do that. Cool. Anything else Art of Motion that we should talk about? Obviously, Saturday's going to be a big Art of Motion dominating one. So, apart from just if you're there right now, fuck you, basically.
Is there anyone who's not there who wants to hang out? No.
Phil. So Phil Doyle has now been pestering me to come on the podcast.
Really?
Yeah, he keeps because we called him out and said he wouldn't come on.
I thought maybe he was because I know he said I would come on the podcast.
Nah, he was like
anyway.
Yeah,
I thought maybe that was just a little.
No, he was like,
really.
Are you going to Italy? Because I might be going and we could do it there. He's like, or you could come to Cardiff because I think he's just moved to Cardiff. I thought he was moving to Bristol, but I'm not sure. But yeah, so we can try and get Phil on at some stage in the future.
I'd love to have Phil on. That'd be really good.
But if anyone isn't in the UK. No? What? If anyone is in the UK and wants to come over on Saturday and do a viewing party, and actually I know you rather than just a weirdo coming to my house.
You get so many people messaging you like,
well, we need.
I don't know you, but please.
We could get one additional guest because too many would be too many.
Yeah.
So if anyone's listening to this and you are in the UK, hit me up. We can maybe see what we can do. So Drake follows Pasha and Joe Scandra on Instagram.
Yeah, you told me this yesterday, but I still don't understand how you know he follows.
Because somebody, Jace, I think, put on Facebook that Drake follows Pasha, because Pasha hit 1 million on Instagram, which is fucking monumental.
Of course.
And then I was like, oh, and I went on who Drake follows, and he only follows like 2,000 people, and it obviously puts the people you follow at the top. And Joe Scandrett was there. I then excitingly told Joe Scandrett, and he was like, yeah, somebody tells me that once a week. I was like, all right, chill out, mate. But
that is really cool. That is really cool.
Because obviously Dom has Chris Hemsworth follows him.
Yeah.
But Drake's a big boy. Like that's a lot of. Yeah.
I would have, out of anyone, I would have thought it would be Pasha and Scandrett.
Yeah. Like Pasha is like he must have.
Pasha has
fucking crazy people following him now.
No, so many people. But like with Scandrett, have you seen how much his Facebook videos blow up?
Yeah, exactly.
He does the compilations at the end of I don't know, the month or something. They always just go crazy.
I'd love to imagine that scenario of like the celebrity scrolling down their Instagram, and whether or not they're just like, oh, that's kind of cool, give that a follow, or whether they like go onto Joe's page and they like watch him doing a descent, and then he falls over afterwards, and they're like, oh shit, like, and they're like proper gassed on it.
Yeah.
Because the guitarist of Enter Shikari, Rory, I've spoken to him in the past about
Pasha, right?
Well, yeah, because he once like ages ago put on like Twitter that his like favorite person on Instagram was Pasha, and I was like, oh, that was sick. And it was like during like the Off the Edge time, and I was touring with Pasha at the time, and we so almost like their tour and our tour essentially so almost clashed. Oh. And I was like, that'd be sick because I could basically use Pasha.
Yeah.
To get into a show, be that fucking scumbag guy. But
really cool.
Then I met him a while ago and we were like chatting about it, and he was like, it wasn't just like, oh no, he's cool. He fucking loves it.
Really?
And like we had a proper long conversation about just like he was like, yeah, he's like fucking Charlie Chaplin, and like he was so into it, and like which is cool because I think it is that.
I find it so weird when muggles are like that.
Well,
not weird, good. I just don't.
It's surprising.
I'm like, how are you impressed by that? Because we're impressed by that.
Yeah. It's like, oh, you like what I like.
Yeah.
Wow. Do you want to be friends? But yeah, fucking well done to Pasha. I mean, he is. It was obvious he was going to be the first one. In the same way that it was obvious when Stora were going to hit 1 million first on YouTube. It was like no one else is even.
What's bigger though? I feel like YouTube's definitely bigger to hit 1 million.
I don't know.
But nowadays, so many people are on Instagram. It's also really big.
It's really strange. I mean? Like, I was trying to think about this. Like, is it harder and more impressive? It's fucking hard to think about because sometimes you look at Instagram and there's like some vlogger who just seems to be so fucking like copy and paste average, and they have like 2 million followers, and you're like, how the fuck have you got that?
Yeah.
And then you look at some YouTube channels and you're like, this is huge or this is small. Like, I'm surprised that no one else in parkour has hit 1 million I'm surprised it's taken this long, given that some shit on Instagram.
So he's the only one?
He's the only one so far. Like, Star's channel is in the 700s, Dom's in the maybe, like, 800s, I think. Like, so other people are, like, in the next...
I feel like Dom must be close.
Let's have a look. In the next year, people are going to hit it. Dom's 864.
864?
Yeah, so he's... I mean, Pasha's close. Star is 747. Who else is big? Jason Poole, what's he on? 408.
What about how far has Pasha gone now? Has it gone past, or is it?
It probably just says 1M. Yeah, it does. So you can't see it.
Let me have a look.
Just 1M followers.
I want to see. That's so
what a fucking
weird.
Gangster.
Seeing that.
And he follows me, guys. You hear that? Pasha follows me. Have you seen Lump Realm? On Instagram.
What was Lump Realm?
The Instagram page that's obsessed with Callum Powell and keeps sharing like...
Is that... I didn't know it was called Lump Realm. It apparently... what was it? Callum put up something saying he doesn't know how they're getting hold of all this footage.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know who that is.
No, okay.
I'll
talk to you about it afterwards because I don't want to ruin the facade. But no, I love it. I love it so much. I find it so funny. But... yeah, so speaking of Stora, the trailer for 6 Underground just came out, which is the film that they worked on last year, directed by Michael Bay, starring Ryan Reynolds and a number of other big names. And that, yeah, I mean, I watched the trailer twice yesterday. The first time I basically only watched the parkour because I was like, oh, that's Stora. Like, oh, that's in there's bits where you're like, that is Drew. Like, it's so obvious it's Drew because of the way he runs and things. And then I tried to watch it again, thinking more about if I was a muggle, like the story, still kind of watch the parkour. What do you think, looking at it?
I think it would it's not a crazy film, as in, no, it is a crazy film, very crazy, but it's not one of those films that blow your mind, but it looks really fun.
I don't know. I think if it's on the...
I mean, you can't tell, it's a trailer.
But it's Michael Bay who does Transformers. He did Bad Boys, which you still haven't seen Bad Boys.
I didn't know he did Transformers.
Yeah.
That's
Michael Bay is the king of explosions. Isn't it?
Yeah. Well, you'd show me
it's
that
not going to be one of
you?
those films that, like, in 10 years' time is like, that is a masterpiece of drama
and
everything.
That's ridiculously hard to achieve.
It's a Michael Bay film.
Anyway.
You're going to walk out... Well, it's Netflix, so you're not walking out of anything. But
you're going to walk out of your living room.
It looks a shitload of fun, for sure. Like, it looks like a lot of fun. I did see some things on, like, the YouTube comments, and they were like, this is just... Like, all Ryan Reynolds is now is Deadpool, in terms of his, like... his style. And also they were like, I thought there were 6 of them, why is this film just about Ryan Reynolds? So it'll be interesting to see the dynamic, but I guess we're not really caring about that. Like, it's more...
No. So who worked on it? We had Star Boys.
Star and Pasha. Hazal worked on it. Johnson's girlfriend was on it briefly.
Oh, yeah.
And a few other people. And
that's cool. There was a lot of different people.
Yeah, they pulled in... I mean, Star were like the big ones. They got... I think Star and Pasha were like the kind of the ones who were there for most of it.
Yeah.
But it looks sick. I know that...
feel for the Star Boys, like, working on a film like that.
I think by the end of it, I remember Toby saying that they kind of got... It was just long.
Yeah.
Like, lots of waiting around, lots of bullshit. But as far as I'm aware, because they were on it for months, constantly going back out and doing bits, and it makes you think that they're going to be, like, a huge section of the film. And then I was talking to Toby, and he's like, nah, probably, like... I think he said, like, a 5-10 minute section of the film will be, like... the stunts that they were involved in.
Yeah.
Like some chase stuff. Because it looks, as far as I'm aware, Drew is doubling one of the main guys.
Yeah.
And there's like certain scenes that there's like chases involving kind of parkour-y things, and that's what they worked on. Because obviously they went out and shot in Dubai and loads of other countries that Starro didn't go to. But no, it looks sick. I'm excited.
Yeah, that is really cool.
The cool, like, I don't think, I mean, it's going to be huge. It's one of Netflix's biggest films, like, they've put money into. It's this and The Irishman, which is a Martin Scorsese.
I haven't heard of that.
I can't pronounce. It's very different. It's like a gangster drama kind of thing. But these 2 films are coming out this December, and they're like Netflix's biggest investment into films.
I didn't realise that it was all Netflix.
Yeah,
I thought
well,
you just meant it was coming to Netflix.
No, that's what they've started doing. Is Netflix are now putting in massive amounts of money. But I don't think it'll be as impactful for parkour as James Bond was, because that was it was at the start of the film.
It was the opening scene, and it lasted for a long time, and even me now watching it, I'm like, oh, some of that's really cool.
And it was like...
And same with District 13.
And it was around the... Yeah, but that didn't go so big, did it? James Bond was around the time as well where parkour was kind of popping off in terms of newness for muggles, and it was like undeniably a 10-minute long just part, like they weren't doing anything else apart from like, oh, this crazy French guy that James Bond is chasing, and he's clearly doing parkour.
Yeah.
I think this will probably be using parkour more as like a cool stunt dynamic. Like in the trailer there's like, I think it's Drew plyoing pillars as shit's exploding.
Yeah.
But I don't think it will be like, oh my god, the parkour guys. It'll be like, oh, that's that character doing parkour to get away. Like that's his skill kind of thing.
But it'll be interesting to see how many freerunners get hired for stunts in the future, because I always get confused with the stunt register being a thing and then people who aren't on the stunt
well, it's
register
only really a thing in the UK, but it's people see, if it seems to be that if you are the right person or you know the right people, you bypass it. And then in like the US, it's basically just like, if you are skilled and talented and you know the right people, you can get in. And there's like, you can get kind of not licensed. There's like things you can be part of to like protect you as a stuntman, in like I think unions and stuff like that.
Okay.
But it's not like you have to be in America. You don't have to be registered. You don't have to like pass, because Robbie's obviously training at the moment, and it's like,
I know a few people who are training and it looks hard.
Do high diving, do this. And the crazy thing is technically if Robbie just went out and like filmed a crazy video, that might actually be the way in, rather than the register. But it's like, it's good to have both.
Yeah. And I feel like more films in the US would want parkour as a...
I think what they're realizing is that like just parkour athletes, especially, I mean, I was with Pasha in Atlanta, which is a big stunt place, and we were staying at a stunt gym. Like we was,
I think you were telling me about this because it's briefly in Off the Edge.
yeah.
And he's like playing around with some stunt people.
Yeah, and there were loads of stuntmen there, and they were training like fools, and they were doing very kind of like black and white, like, this is this stunt fool, like, I'm going to land on my back, I'm going to, you're going to hit me, and then I'm going to fall this way and do this. And Pasha started getting involved, and he was just like fucking quadrupling anything they could do in terms of how it looked, how cool it looked, the technicality.
He was just fucking
He was just
over.
fucking
He was just like, yep.
Yeah, and he was literally just having fun, and he was doing like kind of, they were just jumping off something onto their back on a block.
Yeah.
Whereas he would do like a gainer half twist and land on his back, and then like somebody would pretend to punch him, and he'd add a flip in. And
No way. Did they like that? Were they?
They did, but also I got this sense of like kind of,
Who the fuck is this guy?
this
He's
like,
just walked in and now
he's like one upping, and I think that's why parkour athletes like Pasha are getting like the opportunities, because they're so like.
But Pasha is very stunt driven anyway.
Who has the air awareness of Pasha?
No.
The fact that he can jump and consistently like skim his body.
I can't even compare him to anyone.
Yeah, exactly. So like, if you then needed somebody to do that in a stunt with an explosion going off, like, he's gonna be your guy.
Yeah, you can literally look through Instagram and be like, I want that for my movie.
Yeah,
I want that.
yeah.
To be honest though, I feel like Marks could also fit into that, but not.
I feel like Marks could
not
do
as good,
anything if he actually
but,
set his mind to it. Like,
Not as crazy because like Pasha does some near misses and shit. But have you seen when Marks tries to fall over on purpose?
Yeah.
I've believed it a lot of times.
Yeah.
But yeah.
he is good with that stuff. For those listening, if you haven't listened to our podcast with Marks, then you should go back to last week and check it out.
Yeah.
Shit, how long has this been? We've had the Red Bull Art of Motion page up.
Yeah.
An hour and 5 minutes. Should
That
we?
went quick.
Shall we wrap this and have some lunch?
Yeah, I'm hungry, and also we went through all the show notes, and then we were just going on on a tangent, but didn't realise. Okay.
Well, yeah.
Hour is gone.
I hope you've enjoyed this episode. Prodcast 10 for anything on the store. Not that we have any stock, but fucking soon. The light is at the end of the tunnel. It is tangible. It's all going to change in the next few months. I will tell you that for free.
I hope it's not rainy on the other side of the tunnel. Winter's coming.
Fuck the rain. Fucking, that's all it's done. Although it's sunny right now, I think.
There has been the odd few sunny days, but
it's just not dry enough, though. That's the problem. But yes, I hope you've enjoyed, and we will be back this Saturday with an Art of Motion special.
Yeah.
That's what we can call it.
I'm really excited for this one, actually.
The Art of Motion special.
Yeah, Art of Motion special. Yeah, I feel like that it would be
Yeah,
a lot different to all of our usual podcasts.
for sure.
Would be good.
I'll put the thing on Instagram later once this has been live for a few hours for your predictions. Me and Keelan will write down our predictions, and we'll be back with that, and we can see how we did. We can win a Jaffa cake or something
Oh, cool.
that you can't eat.
Yeah, I'll give it to someone.
Yeah. All right. Thank you very much.
A safe one gives us